Welcome. If you've got your paper data sheets ready to go, you're in the right place. We're going to walk through step by step exactly how to get all that information into the system quickly and correctly. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the basic rules and how to get set up. Then we'll jump into a full example with a fish swim survey. After that, we'll look at how to handle invertebrate and coral data, including one form that has a pretty unique workflow. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the most important rules to remember.
All right, first things first. Let's cover two core ideas. If you get these, the whole process is going to make a lot more sense, and you'll avoid some common headaches.
Okay, the most important idea to get your head around is this. Seeing nothing is seeing something. It's data. Not seeing a certain fish is just as important as seeing one. That's why the system is built to first create a totally empty form. You just fill in the things you saw, and the system automatically knows that everything else was a zero.
The second big principle is all about order. Before you even think about typing in numbers, you have to do these three things, in this exact order. First, pick the field trip. Second, the site visit. And third, the survey. If you do it this way every time, your data will always end up in the right place.
So, this is the screen you'll use to pick your survey. The easiest way to do this is to just grab your paper data sheet, look at the survey type and method written on it, and find the one that matches on the screen. Once you've got it, just click that Select button.
Okay, let's get into our first real example using the fish swim survey. This is going to show you the standard process you'll use for most of your data entry. It's a really repeatable pattern.
Now, after you select a survey, you'll probably see a blank screen just like this. Don't worry, that's supposed to happen. Your very first move is always to click that big purple Generate button. That's what tells the system to build the electronic form for you.
And there it is. After you hit Generate, the form appears. And here's the best part. The list of species you see on the screen is in the exact same order as it is on your paper datasheet. This makes it super easy to just go right down the list and punch in the numbers.
Now, here's a really important detail for fish surveys. If you see a fish that's over 50 centimeters, you have to record its length. So let's say you saw two big ones. Maybe one was 70 centimeters and the other was 60. In the length column, you just type 70, 60. That's it, just the numbers, separated by a comma, no spaces.
Okay, once you've entered all your data for a transect, you have a two-step job. First, you click Save. Second, you click Validate. The system will then double-check your work. If it finds any problems, like maybe you forgot to enter a length, it'll highlight that whole row in pink so you can spot the mistake right away. So what if you make a big mistake and just want to start the whole transect over? No problem. You can wipe the whole thing clean by using that little trash bin icon you see at the top of the form.
But listen up, this is a really important safety feature. To actually delete anything, you have to click that trash can icon 2 times. Clicking it once does nothing. You have to click it a second time to confirm. And just be careful, because once it's gone for good.
All right, let's switch gears and look at a couple of other survey types. The process is pretty similar, but they have a few key differences, especially when it comes to generating forms and, more importantly, how you delete data.
So, for this invertebrate survey form, you'll see these little checkboxes for different sections, like key macros or COTS. Before you click Generate, you need to check the boxes for only the sections you actually collected data for. So if you only did key macros and COTS, you check those 2 boxes, then hit Generate.
Okay, I need everyone to pay very, very close attention to this next part. For this one, invertebrates form, the way you delete data is the complete opposite of what you'd expect. It's really easy to make a mistake here, so please listen carefully.
Here's the rule, and it's a bit strange. To delete a section's data, you have to check the box next to it. To keep the data, you leave the box unchecked. So, say you wanted to delete only the COTS data. You would check the COTS box, leave everything else unchecked, and then click the delete icon twice.
Right, next up is the juvenile coral form. And I've got good news for you. This one goes right back to the normal process we already learned. It's the same exact pattern as the fish swim survey. You'll click Generate, fill in your data, and then finish up with Save and Validate. Simple. Okay, let's move on to our final form type, which is coral condition. Now this form is special. It's totally different from all the others because the number of corals you record can change every time, so it needs a completely different way of working. Here is the biggest difference right away. You do not, and I repeat, do not click the Generate button. When you open this form, it's already live. It starts you off with one empty row, all ready for you to enter your very first coral.
The whole process here is just row by row. It's super simple. Step 1, fill in all the information for a single coral. Step 2, click the Add Row button. And poof, a new empty row appears right at the top of the list. Then you just do it again for the next coral and the next until all your data is in.
So what happens if you're looking through the drop-down list and you can't find the coral genus you need? Easy. Just use the Add Coral button. A little pop-up window will open, and you can just type in the new name and save it. After that, it'll show up in the drop-down list for you.
Phew! We have covered a ton of ground, from generating forms to special cases, so let's just finish up with a quick review of the absolute most important rules you need to remember.
So let's lock these in. First, always start with those 3 selections: field trip, site visit, and survey. Second, for most forms, remember the pattern: generate, fill, save, and validate. Third, deleting anything means 2 clicks on that trash icon. Fourth, that weird rule for the invertebrate survey: check a box to delete its data. And last, the coral condition form is the odd one out. It uses the Add Row button instead of Generate.
And that's pretty much everything. You now have all the key steps and rules you need to get your field data into the system confidently. Thanks for following along.